Yo, welcome back to the channel. You guys know the vibes. You know what tournament it is. You know what round it is. You understand what the stakes are. I will tell you, UDM, this player, they're like a top 20-ish seed, like seed 22nd, 23rd. Well-known player, established ADV player. JankCity.mp4, lesser so. In fact, of all 700 players, they were seeded basically last, like 900, 600, 69th. Something crazy. Will the set be crazy as well? We got a Skarmly in front of a Salmons, likely to get out of the way. And Milo's coming in, suggesting maybe a slower, more defensive-leaning paced structure for Jank City. UDM with a Blissey on the Milo. Neither one of these overly well-positioned to make a ton of progress. Thunderbolt from Blissey is nice to put a bit of pressure on the Milo. Could always eventually find a Para or something like that. Mash GPT, though, coming in on a Fortress. And Milo, the answer to Fortress, apparently. And this is what's happening just in the first few turns is already suggesting that we could be here for a little while. Everybody strap in. Sink a little deeper into your chairs. Fire up some hot cocoa if you haven't already. We all having a happy holidays out there. Let me know in the comments, how has your holiday been thus far? Give me a rating. 1 to 7 scale. I don't need like 10. We don't need all those numbers. We got a Toxic on this Claydol. That could be huge. Could always be refresh Claydol. But, and it is. Yeah, on a team with a Milo, with a Skarm, you'd expect the Claydol to have some defensive investment in the EVs. You'd expect it to have a set like refresh that would empower it to stick around a bit longer. And that's what we got here. We got Fori on the other side, making some spikes. And that must be hidden power bug, folks, because it was super effective against the Claydol, not very effective against the Skarm. I suppose it could also be HP Ghost. And look at this. Skarm with Drill Peck, that is going to allow it to win the 1v1 over a period of time against the Fori. It's got Roar as well to try to force that issue. Claydol will one day try to come back in and get rid of these spikes. Is there a bit of a spikes glitch happening here, folks? No. There are no spikes on UDM's side at this time to speak of. Ment's clicking Fire Blast. And that's all we've seen of it so far. Could always have Brick Break to threaten this Blissey. I guess we will see at some point. Swampert revealed in the back for UDM. And now it's going to be the Jirachi. We've seen Wish and Toxic. And final Mon revealed on UDM's side as T-Tar. What kind of Tyranitar? Could always be Pursuit Tar. And yes. Clicking Crunch, that's a lot of damage, and Pursuit could just kill this Claydol. Jank City in a really tough spot now, just clicking Earthquake. The correct move, because it was going to get pursuited. So let's get some damage on the T-Tar. Will we explode here? Might not have it. Might not have room. Rapid Spin, Refresh, Earthquake. Unclear what the last was, but UDM making some important progress. And now Doug coming in to clean up the T-Tar. Okay. Trading a Claydol for the T-Tar, you did get a Rapid Spin off, but any additional spikes are going to stick. And that's going to hurt Grounded Mon. Like all of Jank City's Pokemon, save the Skarmory. And look at this. Whoa, Jank City clicking Surf. I don't know what they thought was coming in there, but the Milo is hella low. It's getting outsped, and it's going to be forced out. Blissey coming in. And HP Grass in all likelihood doing absolute peanuts. What is this Blissey clicked? It did reveal Ice Beam, so Mence is never staying in that spot. We got Swampert back in the mix, taking a Seismic Toss. And it's got Earthquake, that's right. Something has to threaten this Blissey. Fori could have Explosion. Wish Toxic Jirachi's not going to win a 1v1 overly easily. And Pursuit Tar, you can't really expect it to make much progress. So the Swampert basically has to have Earthquake on a structure like this. We do pivot the Jirachi in on the Blissey. And Toxic can at least force it out for a time. If and when UDM can pivot the Fori back in safely, you can get some permanent spikes that will also pressure the Blissey as well. Jank still has the Doug in the back looming. And this could be an opportunity, but that Wish is going to, in all likelihood, take Fori out of range. What does Fori have? Just getting some spikes? And this is going to be a 3-hit KO, so that will be 2 full layers. No, UDM actually just taking 1 spike and wanting chip on Doug. Thinking chipping the Doug is more valuable than a second spike for the rest of this match. We'll see how that develops. That's an interesting decision. It could prove worthwhile. Mence does reveal Brick Break. Trying to catch the Blissey coming in. Unable to get that one correctly. And if Milo doesn't recover here, yeah, would have been dead to Sand. Wisely recovering here. Surf Toxic recover. Last, I would imagine, is also Refresh. Could have Ice Beam. But with the Blissey having Ice Beam, I would think it would be less necessary on a structure like this. Jank City's Blissey able to take that Thunderbolt. And going to Wish Up. Could always try to Wish Up the Dug at some point as well if we really wanted to. Fire Punch revealed. And that's a pretty common option on these more passive Jirachis with, you know, Wish, Protect, Toxic. Fire Punch, one of the better moves. You can just slap on a Rachi, try to get burns. So high value in a structure, a team like this that's happy to go long. Could be Wish or Aromatherapy on a Blissey like this as well from UDM. I guess we'll find out. Mash GBT in a spot where it can click a button. And clicks Earthquake. That's good chip on the Jirachi. Still only 35%. Yeah, it's not going to... You're going to need some crits. You're not going to be outpacing Wish Protect very easily. And Jank City understands. Decides to pivot the Blissey in on the Protect turn. Stays here, gets Toxicked. Soft boils up. And all Rachi can do... Rachi can just click Wish again. Can click Fire Punch. Jank City stays in. And it is a Wish. What wants to come in here? Could be the meta. It's Skarm. Skarm coming in on a Fire Punch. No burn. Burn could be devastating. Burn could be a win condition. And there it is. That is the burn. Jank City, at this point, I think you get as many spikes as you can. You do have Wish Blissey, so you could still support that Skarm. It's going to be harder. But Jank is going to bide his time and try to find an opportunity to get as many layers as possible. That could be a game-winning situation if you can engineer such a situation. The Wish is coming down. Where will Jank go? Does decide to bring the Skarm in. It has to take a Fire Punch. That's 31%. So it's netting a bit of health. It could spike here again and will, in fact, opt to do so. And this is repeatable. This is a very repeatable situation. I don't think UDM is going to be able to deny a third spike. And once that third spike is up, I think Jank is going to have a fairly sizable advantage. Jank just clicking Surf. Not much else to do in this spot. Could click Recover here. Interesting Surf. Yeah, I guess, what are we trying to deny? Could try to Surf down the Swampert a bit, I guess. And last is, in fact, revealed to be Refresh. The Milo did not, in fact, have Ice Beam at any point. It's Metagross once more. Coming in on a Thunderbolt. This thing would appreciate some Wish support at some point. We've only seen Earthquake. It has revealed Leftovers as well. It's not Choice or anything like that. And Attack Rays could go crazy as well, because that could put it in a position where it's going to outpace Wish Protect a bit. But not wanting to stick around and get Fire Punched. That's really UDM's best way forward, is try to burn as many targets as possible. At least ones that don't have Refresh. We know that there's no Aroma for this Blissey. It's fully revealed. And with Swampert here, I think you hard go Skarm here. It's going to receive the Wish and get a third spike, and there's nothing UDM can do about it. Ice Beam crit was the only chance. Didn't get it. And this is going to be a very, very good situation for Jank. The Skarm doesn't really even have to do anything anymore. It's done its job. It can click Roar a couple times. You can Wish support it so that it can force Spike's progress. Of course, this Jirachi does have Wish as well. So this could be a bit of a long one. I'm going to go ahead and make the executive decision to put us on fast mode. And Curse Swampert revealed. That could do some good work as well. It's now Toxicked, though. So, UDM, you better hope that you have Aroma on your Bliss. Yeah, this Swampert going for double Curse here. Toxic already doing 12%. And yeah, +2 Earthquake will outpace Recover, but you're second in terms of the speed. And it's Rest, Swampert. Okay. Well, you know, Skarm can come in and roar this. And we're going to choose to go Blissey and Wish first, it appears. That is going to allow the Swampert to wake up on this turn and click a button. But, yeah. Still needing a Ice Beam crit. Really the only way forward in that spot. And the Skarm can kind of sit here and just roar. Yeah, the burn is adding up. Wow. Such a tough spot for UDM. And they're both just wishing up. Could this even be a hyper fast situation, folks? How many turns are we going to see here? Something will break at some point. And again, I think Jank is in a spot where eventually they will be better positioned to wear down the opponent. They actually correctly predict the Blissey coming in with the Doug. And Earthquake is, in fact, able to do 60. That should do it. That should completely do it. Milo can come in for free on the Ments. Hidden Power Grass not doing nearly enough. Doing 30%. Absolute peanuts. Just going to click it again. But Milo can outpace that with Recover. And it should be only a matter of time, folks. Jirachi comes in. But yeah, Milo can just refresh forever. It can surf. And it might come down to stalling out the wishes from this Jirachi. There's 9 remaining. Once it can no longer heal itself, UDM actually having just 10 seconds left on their clock. It could come down to timer. UDM could opt to simply forfeit at some point. But I really don't see a path forward for them. And given that conclusion, I will take the executive decision to put this on hyper-fast mode. You burn the Milo, but to what end? It's going to be a refresh moment. And UDM still playing with the timer, often taking all 20 or so seconds that they have before making decisions. I suppose maybe there's a world where Curse Pert can do stuff. But again, eventually, after it gets toxic, it's going to have to rest. Skarmory can come in for free and roar. It also gives Blissey the opportunity to Wish support the Skarm every time. And UDM actually going to get ahead of the Skarmory. I suppose that's something. Clicking Hidden Power. Fire Blast could have been nice for progress on the Metagross. Could have beat the Metagross coming in. They're Brick Breaking and Meteor Mashing one another. Protect on the Metagross, not something that you see all the time. Finally, Fire Blasting the Metagross. I don't know how necessary the meta is at this point. And I mean, are we HP stalling the Hidden Powers? Jirachi coming in on a lot of spikes. It's going to chip heal and click Wish. Oh, but Surf actually just crits. UDM had 5 seconds at one point. The Swampert's still asleep. And they're going to play it out. I mean, props to them. Earthquake doing 44%. And wait a minute. Okay, hold on. What just happened? Was there a crit at some point? No, Milo tried to Toxic. Missed a Toxic. And actually landed a second Toxic. Chose to let the Milo go just to get another Toxic on this Swampert. Maybe this isn't over after all, folks. Look at this. Look at this Swampert. But then again, the Skarmory, it's too healthy, and it has Roar. I think you need to be able to do this with Swampert last. Blissey doesn't have Toxic. Skarm has Drill Peck and hasn't revealed Protect. So if it doesn't have Toxic, this Pert last could just win. It's gonna get roared out, but I think you just have to let the Ments go, bring the Ments in, click some buttons, and I think Curse Rest Swampert. Maybe Doug can get there, but it's very low. It drops to a single Ice Beam, and when you have a single defense boost, Earthquake's not doing that much. Crit Fire Blast Burn is actually kind of nice. That's more pressure on the Blissey than you would expect. We got some gaming happening 120 turns in here. The Skarm is coming in on a Brick Break. And there's nothing that loves coming in on spikes and taking a Fire Blast now. There's a Fire Blast. The Skarm is eliminated. No more Roars. Oh, wow. Did UDM actually bring this all the way back? Can I be honest? I kind of thought UDM was being a bit spiteful. There were moments where they were just taking as much time off the timer as possible when I thought they had effectively lost. I thought it was out of spite. They were just gaming. And they don't even need the curse perk. The mixed men's gets there on its own. That's insane. Way to bring it back, bit by bit. Gaming is occurring. And they're now 1 game away from top 32. Zappa's going to sub up on a supposed Spore. Jank City just taking a spike. And going to get a second spike here. Salic will allow them to BP elsewhere or explode. Instead wants a third spike. This must be a highly offensive team from Jank City, and the Gengar will outspeed. It's going to have to take a Thunderbolt just to break the sub, though. And a crit Thunderbolt at that. Drops the Gengar entirely. T-Tar comes in, brings the sand. What kind of a T-Tar would this be? I'm guessing offensive. And it's Dragon Dance. It's Dragon Dancing up. A single Swampert should be able to deal with this rather well. Missing Rock Slide. And UDM was going to be happy to just lose the entire Zapdos. That's unfortunate for Jank City. And everything's coming up UDM's way now. Wow, Rock Slide only doing 70% to Zap? I'm surprised. I would have expected that to kill. But 7 turns in and Jank City is down to their second to last Mon. This better be Agility Gross. And it is. Metagross has a lot of work ahead of it now. If Jank wants to remain in this tournament, you need an attack raise very quickly here. And Suicune is going to be able to live everything not named Explosion. Hydro Pump could kill from this range. I don't suspect Surf could. No, Surf is going to threaten a 2-hit KO. And Jank City, Crit Mash doesn't even get there. Goes for Earthquake. Crit Earthquake would have gotten there. That was the right decision. Doesn't get there. And I don't know that Swampert will be quite enough. It's going to sub up. That's something. But yeah, sub is going to not quite withstand a Suicune Surf. And looking like Endeavor Pert. UDM just going to take the opportunity to Calm Mind up. Why not? Yeah, Surf only doing 8%. So UDM effectively able to get a free Calm Mind stack. Pretty unlikely to matter. Oh, and Jank City just opting for a Surf. Maybe thinking Surf Crit was necessary. I don't know what the plan was. Could have subbed down to Salic. Wow. UDM said this was calm, but I screwed up. My brain was mostly off the set, not gonna lie. You played way better than me game 1. Jank City with the thanks. GG's from both players. And Jank explaining that they had a role to kill, apparently, with that Surf. Or maybe they had a role to live the opposing Surf, is what they were getting at. I don't really know, folks, but good stuff to UDM. Jank City trying to catch UDM off guard with a hyper offense. Not really able to get started. The sub Zapdos put in a ton of work. Gengar dropped to that critical hit Thunderbolt. Rock Slide miss on the T-Tar. And Arrow, I can't believe that Arrow Rock Slide just did 70 to Zapdos. I would have expected that would have been more favored to have at least a range to Oko. UDM moves on. Congrats to them. Big props. I doubted you. Apparently I shouldn't have. Apparently I underestimated you. Best of luck in top 32. Thanks to everybody who watches these. Sub to the channel. And make sure you tune in next time because we'll be coming back with more videos. I'm releasing these. I've recorded all of these ahead of time. I'm on holiday break visiting some fam. But I'll be back around New Year's, folks. More videos will be happening. But that's it for now. We'll see you next time.